So today I've been mucking around with this little 35 that I bought. I got it pretty cheap and it was worth it just for the panels because it's got really good mud guards and a really good bonnet and fuel tank and all the rest of it. But the main reason I bought it because I had an engine already that I'd bought which is going to go on this. Now the engine that's on this is down here and it had punched a hole through the side of the block. So I don't know if you can see down there all those cracks. So basically what happened is that. So someone spent a fair bit of money on this. They've put new liners, new pistons, new shells, a whole shebang. But unfortunately, one of the caps came off. Might have not been tightened up properly, I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, that had gone round, smashed itself through the side. It's broken the new piston and broke the bottom off the liner. But saying that, I can buy liners and stuff. The pistons look brand new still. The bores look really, really good. They've got a little tiny bit of surface rust which I can hone out. If I was to buy another liner, they could go in another engine. And I've got all sorts of bits and bobs on this one I can use for another tractor. So anyway, it's got a new clutch in it, new thrust sprayer in. Someone's been through it. It was all painted nicely, but it's been left outside because obviously they've spent all that money and then it's gone and they've lost heart with it and left it. So here's the engine that I've got for it. Now this came from actually it was out of a forklift, and it was having a few problems starting, I think. It ran, but it wouldn't start that easily. And the reason it didn't start easy because it's got pretty low compression. So I'm going to pull the head off of this and do the valves because that's more than likely what it is. Everything else looks really good on it. It had good oil pressure apparently and all that malarkey, so it didn't knock. But yeah, it was just hard to start. And it would be hard to start with no compression. So once I've cleaned this all up and got it on the tractor, I'll pull the head off and then I shall give it a good going over, redo the valves, redo the valve seats, and hopefully we should have a good little reliable tractor. It's got electronic ignition, it's got a high torque starter motor that came with it as well down there, and it's got a more modern carburetor. So it should make someone a nice little reliable tractor. A workhorse. I'm not going to go to the extent I did with the other one with it because we know that leads to just losing money. But anyway, yeah, that's what I've been doing today. Hopefully by tomorrow that'll all be dry. I've just given the engine a quick coat of paint because this is like hammerite silver, so I got some hammerite silver and gave it a larraping on the engine to match. So when it all goes together, she'll be a lovely little tractor again. So I've given it a coat of the same paint as the tractor. I'm going to throw it in as it is. I will pull the head off and probably just lap the valves in because it's slightly down on compression, and that's more than likely just the valve seat's a little bit wanky. So I should do that. I've got the flywheel on it and I've just made up a tool to put the clutch plate on. So if you haven't got the proper tool, that's just a piece of bar and some tape to align it. Piece of piss to make. So yeah, this engine's going on that tractor and I'm hoping it's going to be just a quick flip. I don't want to spend a fortune on it, but I do want to make it into a good working tractor. Anyway, that's my plan. Get this engine on there today. I'm just going to, yeah, as I say, put the clutch together and then I can throw the motor on and chuck the starter motor on it. It's got a high torque starter motor. It's got electronic ignition. It's got an alternator rather than a dynamo, so it'll be a real usable workhorse. So yeah, hopefully someone will appreciate it. So here's our clutch plate. This is the one off the tractor. Someone's put a new one in there at some stage, which is nice, saves a bit of mucking around as well. So now I'm going to put that on with our little tool we made, just there. That sticks through there like that, goes in nice and tight. And then that goes into the spigot bearing like that, nice and tight. There you go, that's pretty much centre. I can wiggle it about a little bit. And then our pressure plate goes on. Again, this is new, just a bit dirty. So it's been sitting for a while by the looks of things. I might just give that a little clean up. It's a bit scuffy, but yeah, I'll quickly clean that up. Then that can go on. Right, so that's now on. I'm just going to pop a little bit of copper grease on the splines so it slides up and down nicely. Lovely. Right. Now, put a bit in there. Now this bad boy can go back on a tractor. Right, so I've just done a quick compression test on this engine, and I knew it was low because when I was turning it over before I put it in, I suspected the valves might need a bit of treatment. So I had 75 psi on that one, and nothing. Very similar to the other one, the one out there, which I rebuilt. So I'm probably going to do the bloody same thing to this, but that's fine. I'll just strip this head off and do the valves, new head gasket, all that, and it's good to check it anyway. But it's on the tractor now, bolted up, and yeah, I'm just going to pull the head off a bit quickly. Sorry about the noise, but that's the head off of the 35 there. I redid the valves because the valves were all pitted and sooty and buggered, so I've redid that yesterday. And I'm trying out the mill, so I've adapted this old drill mill. I bought a fly cutter off of AliExpress and an auto feed, so it's hard, it's not as scary as it was the last time I did it, which was bloody scary because you had to hand wind it and I didn't want to get close to it. But anyway, this one, I've taken quite a big cut that I should have backed it off a bit, but I've committed now, so on the next cut I'll take a smaller amount. The first cut I did was beautiful, with no noise, no chattering, but yeah, probably gone a little too far on this one, but it's going good, it's working well. There you go. And it's got auto stops on it as well, so I can go and make a cup of tea, leave this bloody thing going. Happy days, isn't it? It was in a bit of a sorry state, so the guys who had it before, they put a new head gasket on it, but they'd used silicone. It was a proper mess underneath. A lot of silicone on that engine actually, but we won't be using that this time. We'll be using a new head gasket and some aviation sealant, and it'll be nice and flat. Still chugging away, isn't it? Nice light cut now. The noise you can hear is this bloody thing rattling on the top, the cover, and the base for this little milling machine. It's got no bracing on it, so it wobbles, which I'll have to sort out, but it is doing a lovely job. Looking very flat now. It's cutting nice, just changed the tool. Might even make that the last cut. It's looking really, really nice, that is. Getting rid of all the marks and crap and low spots. Just a very little slight kiss it is, and it's looking very, very good indeed. And I'll give it a good clean off, clean the oil ways out. Because there'll probably be a bit of iron filings down there. We don't want that. Then I can put the valves back in. I've already lapped the valves, as I said before. Reassemble that. Gaskets that I've ordered, hopefully it'll be here, not tomorrow, because it's New Year's Day and nothing will be open. Lazy buggers, aren't they? I'll be working, but yeah, nothing's open, so hopefully it'll be here day after New Year's Day, and I'll be able to put the head back on this thing and see if it's got compression, which it should have. Everything else looks mint as. Marvellous. So there we go, that cylinder head is now nice and flat. I've just deburred it, but yeah, still a little bit there, but nothing much. It's pretty flat, but that's in a big waterway anyway, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's done. Now I can put the valves back in and leak check it with a bit of petrol in each cylinder, and that can go back on a tractor. So here's our freshly reconditioned cylinder head, again all done in house here. So skimmed, valve seats recut and valves ground in. Now I've just filled the combustion chambers up with some just degreaser because it's nice and fine, and then there's no valve springs on it yet, but these are all nice and bone dry. So once you've got your valve springs on there, you'll get an even tighter seal. So that is a good little test to do before you assemble your engine, just to make sure you've got your valve seats good. So there you go. Good news. So my head gaskets arrived for this little tractor. Just come today. So head's all put together, valves are in, springs are on. It's all deburred and all lovely and lovely. So what I'm going to do is use some of our Loctite MR5923 aviation grade snot and paste the gasket up, throw it all together, and then see if it runs, which it should bloody do, I hope. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. Whack a bit of this gob on there. So here's our gasket with the goop on it. I found it's much easier to do it with a paintbrush. It comes with a brush in the pot, but it's pretty average. So I normally nick one of Nellie's because she leaves them laying around all covered in paint. So I clean them and nick them. I buy them anyway, but you know, I figure might as well recycle them. So that's, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit the head on there and just loosely put the nuts on and leave it to sit for a while before I clamp it up. Here we go. Looks better already. Now I bought some brand new washers for this, some hardened washers, because it had none on it at all, so thought I'd better get some. And that one should be a special one. Where's that one? Where's my rocker gear? There it is. Yeah. There's normally a little plate that goes on there. I think it's to stop it splashing, but this one hasn't got one on it, so I'll just put a normal washer on there. I'll flick the nuts on. I'm just going to nip them hand tight. So I'm just going to literally nip these all down. So I'm going to pull it down tight enough just to squish the sealant, but then let it dry a little bit, like set a little bit so it don't all squish out. Might even get a tune out of it today, but I've got a lot to do. I've got to do house stuff as well, building a walk-in wardrobe, and I've got to rebuild an external wall because it's buggered. So another little job I've got to do in between everything else, innit? But get this on, be good. So anyway, I'll come back when I'm talking it, hey. Right, so that's been sitting for a minute now. Now I'm just going to go up to 60 first, then up to 65. And I'm doing the old snail pattern, which is a favourite. Well, that's once round. Just going to do it again at 60. It is a lot. Right, that's done. That's at 60. So next we're going to go up to 65. So that's on 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. Now I'm going to leave it for a while, let it settle. Probably have a cup of tea, to be honest, and then I'll come back and go around to around a 60 on that. Then the valve rockers can go back on, and we'll probably be able to spin it over. Push rods can go back in. Here, coming along lovely. It's all right. That's now torqued down to 65. Been around it twice, checked it, and it's all good. So next, rocker shaft can go on. Also on the rocker shaft, when I got this little bad boy, when I looked at the contact surfaces for the valves, they were absolutely buggered. They were really pitted. So I've just given them a kiss over with the grinder. So as when I put the feeler gauges in, I'm getting a proper contact on these. Otherwise it would have been an absolute bugger. And I just imagine when they tried to do it before, they would have been at a nightmare, because they wouldn't have been able to get the correct gap, but now we can. So I shall stick this on. Right, because I've skimmed this, I've obviously taken a millimetre or two off of it to get it nice and flat again. So these are going to be well out, which you'd have to change them anyway, because I also ground those and mucked around with it, cut the valves, the whole thing. So we've got to go through the whole lot. So that's the exhaust on number 1, 12 thou, and that has got to be 10. It's a little bit loose. Like that. I can only assume that the reason that they're different is because this one gets a lot hotter because it's the exhaust and the inlet with the gases going through it, so you make an allowance with extra gap, so when that gap closes up, it'll probably go up to about the same as this one, or that's only assumption, it's not fact, but that's what I reckon. So those two are done, and I'm just going to nip that with a like that, because I only got a 13mm spanner and it doesn't quite fit, and someone's done this before and rounded them off, so I've had to use a socket on them to get it in, to get them undone. That's that one done. Now obviously we go with the firing order 1, 3, 4, 2, so the next one is going to be this one over here. So we'll rock it around until our dizzy cat, our rotor arm has got to go to just there. Let's put it on the side there, and those valves have got to be rocking. So about there. And they're not rocking yet because, as I said, I've skimmed the head. There they are, right. So we'll do the exhaust first, which is our 12. And our exhaust is this one here. Got 2 exhausts in the middle, then you've got 2 inlets and an exhaust. That's lovely. Just nip him up there. Anyway, we're going to do this another however many times to get all these done. Then I'll come back when it's done and I shall spin it over and see if we've improved the compression. It's got a little bit tighter than that. That's lovely. Give it a nip. I'll get the rest done and then I'll come back. So all the valves are set, and next thing to do, see if it's now got compression. If it ain't, it's been a waste of time, but I'm picking it should have, because we've done quite a bit to it. Anyway, I'll whack this little gadget in here. And guess where I got this from? Bleeding Temu as well. So remember, this said bugger all, well pretty much bugger all compression. So let's see, put the battery lead on, see what we've got now. That's got 100. I don't know what they're supposed to be, but that's pretty bloody good, I think. That's got 100. So if they're all 100, I'd say we've got a winner. And then all I've got to do next is start the bugger, but probably do that another day. That's a handy. Woohoo! Right. Well, that's a bloody result, isn't it? They're all 100 psi. If they're all the same, that must be what it's supposed to be, I guess. So, what a bleeding result that is. So next time, I'll get the rest of it together and we'll get it going and take it for a drive. But that's it. So this little tractor is on its way to being back to life. So, bloody good result. Let us know what you reckon.